apart from maybe an Undying, which Fnatic actually likes to play. So they need something to deal with Ember Spirit mid-game. And I would say Lion would be my preferable choice as support. You also have Sand King, who has an instant stun. And if you wanted that as a... Shadow Demon is going to be their choice. As a carry, they could have got Drow for the silence, but I don't think that would have been a good choice. So they're getting the Shadow Demon, however. This is, of course, a great lane, but Navi's not going to let them have the Jakiro Shadow Demon.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, Navi.
5 seconds. Oh,
whoa.
They're going to end up randoming at least once, I feel. So they picked Jakiro and Bounty.
Oh my god, I didn't even realize.
Yeah, I was actually hoping that Fnatic, well not hope, well I guess, yeah sure. I was hoping that Fnatic would pick a little bit faster because Navi only had like 20 seconds left after their first pick. So their time is basically done, and if you guys aren't aware of the game mode and how it works, you get no bonus time, and what that means is they literally have 3 seconds to choose their next 2 heroes. And we'll see if they have quick fingers, but Bristleback is picked up by Fnatic.
10 seconds.
And they only have 10 seconds, so we're going to see some really quick picks here.
Yeah, I can't even analyze this before we get the next pick. There's the instant stun, and there is an instant stun for Navi. They get Lion as their support, as I expected before the game started. And it's going to be a Wind Ranger for Fnatic. That was really... They cut that close on the drafting. But
no punch,
I actually think...
Disappointed.
I really like the drafts from both sides. I think even though they got on time, they kind of got what they needed. The only interesting thing for Na'Vi is that they're probably going to be playing Timbersaw mid. Unless if they want to play Bounty Hunter mid. I'm wondering if we even see the old school Na'Vi easy lane Bounty Hunter that used to be played by Hvost as... sorry, not Hvost, by Light of Heaven at one point. But I think Hvost has actually also played it, so that's going to be really interesting. I feel like Na'Vi's picks are... I'm wondering Stendy's hero here. I'm gonna say Ember Spirit, and then Hvost will play back, but we'll see.
I'm hoping it's Lion.
It is. It's an easy lane for Na'Vi. This is something we very rarely see, but this hero with early levels can completely destroy the map if he gets off to a good start.
Absolutely. And I mean, if you look at these lineups, this might as well be a captain's mode game for the most part. I mean, maybe not the highest picks and supports, highest tier supports that are picked, but they're still fairly common enough that you'll see them in a captain's mode game. So both teams getting what they wanted, and Fnatic getting their patented Luna, which is, I feel like every single game has Luna. Not in this mode, but just in captain. That is the go-to hero as a carry, because you can do so many things with her. You can put her in a tri lane, put her in a safe lane, just by herself. Good for pushing with that Lunar Blessing. I mean, it's kind of like having no risk in a pick for a carry, because she's pretty good in lane. Like, not the greatest as far as getting kills is concerned, but she can help push it and gives damage to her supports. And then of course late game she's absolutely beastly. But Navi's checking out Roshan, it looks like. Let's go over the actual lineup since we haven't officially done that. Kuroki's gonna be playing the Lion, Puppey, the Jakiro, and then like you said, in that tri-lane, which I'm assuming they're gonna roam quite a bit because Hvost playing the Bounty Hunter is a little odd to say the least. But we'll get the levels one way or another. Dendi, mid solo, in all likelihood playing the Ember Spirit, and Funnick on one of his favorite, Timbersaw.
And for Fnatic, this is also something very ordinary for them, at least as far as Fly goes. He's going to be playing the Wind Ranger, which is one of his favorite supports. We've got No-Tail and the Shadow Demon. Offlane, Bristleback will be played by Trixie. Then we've got Era playing as Luna, and finally Hani will be playing the Sand King. That's perhaps the biggest surprise for me in this draft, is that Hani plays the Sand King. But on the other hand, I guess you could say, if you play it as a support role, I think this is, out of all the heroes I've seen Fnatic play quite a few times, I think this is their worst support. No-Tail plays exceptionally well on many supports, but he just hasn't really found the groove on Sand King. I think maybe they've just come to the conclusion that it's not his type of hero, and then they played as a core on Hani instead in this game, which I was considering that Wind Ranger could have been the core instead, and then Sand King, Shadow Demon could have been the support duo, but I feel like this makes a lot of sense as well. And I like the choice of them running the dual lane mid here, because they knew it was going to be an Ember Spirit, and they want to prevent him from farming. Not many single heroes can, at least not in Fnatic's lineup, could have single-handedly taken care of Dendi in that mid lane, so this dual lane is a good choice, I feel.
That also, you see the Puppey comes in to help, and that's something that we were kind of alluding to earlier, as Bounty Hunter being the main armor in the bot lane. It's going to free up the supports quite a bit because he doesn't really need any support per se, considering that he's typically an off-lane hero. And when you have a Timber Saw, that's just going to open things up quite a bit. It's Trixie in the jungle right now. It's going to find Kuroki, pulling these cuddly little wolves. He's going to get stunned immediately. Just trying to get as many last hits as possible is Kuroki. Trixie still has the level 1 Quill Spray though. As we see mid lane.
Going for him.
Oh, Dendi gets first blooded, as we're going to see Trixie continue to go on Kuroki. I don't believe he's going to be able to catch up, although the bristle...
Ooh, we got outranged there.
The Quill Spray is amazing at level 1, but we did see, barely did see Ember Spirit go down mid. So despite having Puppey helping him out, goes down nonetheless.
It would have actually been a kill to Trixie with the older Hex. It's because it's 2.5 seconds on level 1 that Kuroki survived that. I think he would have died with the old short Hex, but this just bought him a lot of time.
Disruption into Soul Catcher, but they don't have any real lockdown aside from that disruption. But here comes Puppey, the nice dual breath along with the Ice Path. He has the haste activated, so he can kite as much as he wants. Dendi better be careful though. No Tail looks like he's going to take a lot of damage. Probably going to go down one way or another, but this is going to be a trade, and it is.
Again!
Despite having the haste, still goes down.
This is very chaotic. I think, who's this favor?
Sorry, no, the Luna voice is just so hilarious.
Yeah. Well, I think overall, considering the farm values in mid, definitely favoring Fnatic right now. Era is 10-3, Dendi is 3-0, and it's just the nature of Ember Spirit's trouble at playing against double ranged heroes, because he is melee, he has low armor, and he doesn't have a stout shield. So when these two heroes just start hitting him with the Lunar Blessing aura as well, it's really difficult for Dendi to sustain. And the decision for choice, well, that's right. The decision for Puppey coming in the mid lane and help out was definitely the right one. I think he's a better hero to have in there than Kuroki in the beginning because he's more tanky. The Lion would have just been focused down by these two very high damage heroes that Fnatic have in the mid lane, but they're actually putting pressure on No-Tail here, and here comes Kuro.
The Ice Path No-Tail in so much trouble. The Impale is going to ensure the kill as Kuroki better be careful. Although, of course, Navi completely outnumbering Fnatic here. I mean, that takes a lot to just kill Shadow Demon, though. I mean, Era's going to pick up some easy experience, so... I mean, despite dying, not the worst thing in the world for Fnatic, to be perfectly honest, but it's kind of turned into a tri-lane with... I'm sure Lion is going to start roaming a bit. Because, like you said, the level 1 Sheep is really underrated, and when that was changed, I was kind of surprised that Lion wasn't picked up consistently. Actually, he pretty much never is picked up in Captain's mode for the most part, at least when that buff was initially made. But really a great hero, and really it comes down to getting levels on him, and that's probably the main reason that he's not picked up on a consistent basis.
Speaking of Lion, he's going to get an Invis rune. Might be a setup for the bottom lane here, but he needs to be a little bit careful. Trixie does have 2 points in the Bristleback ability and 400 health. He uses his salve now, they can't kill him. I really love this choice from Rostov getting the Orb of Venom here, just putting a lot of pressure. He knows he's playing melee against melee, so it's very easy for him to get multiple hits off. He just keeps attacking Trixie and applying that buff and slow, debuff and slow and damage. So, oh, here we go. They're going on him. I don't think they will succeed in this one.
Trixie's back was to them from the start, and you're right, that salve pretty much saved his life, despite him not even knowing that anybody was there. Although he's getting a little bit close. Ice Path is up in 2 seconds. Is it going to be able to connect? Are they even going to go for it? They are going to go for it, along with the Shoryuken! It's not quite enough as Trixie will waddle away. Shoryuken! Meanwhile, Fnatic getting chased in the top lane. Hani is going to hit a stun, unlike when No-Tail plays that hero. Sorry, I had to say it once. I had to say it one time.
Shots fired.
Is under attack.
And you're right, though. I mean, that is definitely a hero that No-Tail's not known for. Disruption, Soul Catcher combination, along with Era, using the Lucent Beam. Nice blocking with the illusions. And they're not going to be able to get the kill, but enough damage.
No.
Oh, No-Tail! Oh, the
smoke.
nice smoke!
Oh, just joining the tower attack there. That was a really good play, but at the same time it was damage control. And he shouldn't have needed to use that smoke, but very well done by him to think quickly in that moment. And keeps his presence of mind and at least doesn't die. And at the same time in top lane, Hani and Fly managed to bring down Fnatic. And that's a really big kill, because if we look at what heroes they're getting the levels on in this dual lane top, it's a Sand King and Windrunner. These two heroes are amazing in mid game.
Oh my god, the Eclipse is used. Is it going to cost him his life? The Impales followed by the Sheep. A couple auto attacks should be enough. The bottle is not enough to save his life. Wow, so that was a huge turnaround. Nice TP by Kuroki, able to turn that around. Honestly, as we see in Ice Path top, not able to get the kill. It doesn't look like, yeah, the dual breath. Actually, the dual breath does hit, so Fnatic is going to continue the
They're
pressure
diving
here. Timbersaw, does he do enough damage? Oh, he misses the Timber Chain Fly, very close to dead, but Fnatic.
Oh, Fnatic.
Very close to dead, but Fly, oh my god, Fly. I love you. A little too ballsy though. He wasn't close enough to get a shackle off, it looks like, but...
I thought that shackle was going to connect. I was so sure Fnatic was just dead there, but Fly didn't get the right angle because this area, if you see me drawing right here, is a little bit deceptive when it comes to the trees with what the exact distances are. And I think that tree he might have wanted to shackle him to was actually cut down already. At least it looks like it was, so perhaps that's the reason that shackle didn't connect and it was a 1-for-1, but what an aggressive early game right now. It's still favoring Fnatic though. As far as gold goes, they're ahead by about 1,000, mainly because of just the raw farm values on the lanes rather than the kills. But Na'Vi slightly ahead on the experience, so could definitely go either way as far as the mid game is concerned. Both teams have great mid game lineups, and they're getting farm on the right heroes as well. Bounty Hunter is a great hero to have farm on in the mid game. They're getting some farm on the Timbersaw, not too much though, but they're getting levels on Lion and Jakiro, which is really important for Na'Vi. And then Fnatic, who have a level 7 Sand King with Arcane Boots, and the Wind Ranger, as said, is now level 5. So these two heroes have great potential at about the 10 to 15 minute mark.
We haven't really talked about it too much. I mean, it's not the greatest combination with Shadow Demon and Luna, just because you're not setting it up for anything other than the extra damage from Soulcatcher and Lucent Beam combination, but really it's not the ideal. You really need some kind of a slow. But they've been doing decently well, better than I thought they would, but obviously it's been a 2v1 for the most part, so I guess it shouldn't be too big of a surprise. But either way, No-Tail's going to start roaming. He's level 5. Once he hits that Demonic Purge, level 6, that's going to set up a lot of gank potential, as Dendi is smoked right now. Puppy putting a little bit of pressure on Aaron, knowing that the support is not there for him at the moment. No-Tail is back though. Lucent Beam used on Puppy yet again, but Dendi just been bottle crowing this entire game. Doesn't have too much gold to speak of unless there's something on the career that I don't know about. Doesn't look like it. 3 heroes here for Fnatic now. As
far as Dendi goes, what do you think about his skill build? Because I was thinking he's getting Searing Chains up to level 3 because that's when you get a 3-second duration, which I've seen twice now, I think. Personally, I love leveling up the Flame Guard just because it scales so well and makes you very hard to kill. And I feel like the lane Fnatic has with the Lucent Beam, like you said, it's really good to have high level on Flame Guard so you don't take the Lucent Beam damage. Do you think Dendi would have got more out of this lane by leveling up the Flame Guard, so he could also perhaps have farmed easier with that and maybe even farmed the jungle a bit if he needed to? Or do you think these 3 points in Searing Chains have paid off? After all, he does have 4 assists.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, as long as he has his ultimate now, he'll be able to get away, so the Flame Guard perhaps isn't the most important thing, but you're right, early game, and even now, magic damage is what mainly is going to be coming out of that mid lane, coming from Fnatic, as Fly is gonna see Kuroki stumble upon him, but he's gonna have to back up now. And top lane, Era is just gonna get complete free farm for the time being. He has rotated out of mid lane, and we're seeing a rotation actually from Na'Vi, big time gank potential. They're gonna use the smoke on 3. Fnatic is there as well. Does he have his ultimate? He does have Chakram, so to be able to get a slow out of here.
Finger.
Really, the only person that can really go for is No-Tail, and I'm not sure if that's worth a 3-man rotation, although they're
going all the way top.
Okay.
I think they're trying Era, but he's going to be really cautious here since he sees so many heroes are missing on the map and he knows he's alone top. This is an experienced carry player right here doing this. He knows the risk, farms with Lucent Beam and stays under his tower. The only problem for him is he might probably die under the tower even, but it's the right play to stay this safe. I still think it's gonna... Oh, Puppy, the smoke actually has expired. They're still waiting here. They have a ward behind the tower, so they know exactly where Era is. They don't want to go for it right now, and there's a ping coming out from Era. He's like, there must be someone here, guys. Something isn't right.
So good. Hani has been jungling.
Very, very well played by him. And now Hani, oh, this is... All hell is going to break loose if Hani gets in here.
I do believe so. I mean, he's level 8. Like that's a pretty freaking high level right now. He's going to use a Sandstorm, but he's going to get Ice Path immediately. Impale to follow. It's going to hit 2. Dundee? Dundee. Hani in the meantime will go down. I call Dendi Dundee. That's awesome. Crocodile Dundee? I don't know what that's on.
Well, Dendi, we're going to need a Photoshop of that. Photoshop? Now they're going to dive, probably. Dendi at least thinking about it. Has the 3 points in Flame Guard now, so is pretty tanky in his own right. In mid lane, oh, look at Vost. Look at it. He's exploiting the fact that Fly is looking somewhere else, and that's an easy kill for him. Kuro at the same time gets the Shadow Demon top together with his allies here, and Na'Vi just got a hell of a lot out of that.
Dire's middle tower
It was looking
is
like
under
Fnatic
attack.
were gaining control and starting to farm up their strong mid-game heroes with Bristle and Luna, but Na'Vi just got one hell of a spike on the experience right
Dire's
there.
structures are
You're
fortified.
exactly right when you say he was
Dire's
looking at the
top
top
tower
lane.
is
He was
under
just
attack.
standing there, minding his own business. Even within tower range, Bounty Hunter wasn't seen just because he wasn't really looking in that area. But smoke from Fnatic, they're going to try to retaliate at this top lane. This tower is probably... Okay, it's getting pretty low. TP coming in, Ice Path and Chakra on the fall. Trixie is taking a lot of damage. He's going to go down before anything happens. Disruption, though. Nice disruption from DOTA. There you see the Eclipse. Fnatic is dead. One dead for Na'Vi. Dendi, as I called him, Dundee previously, will fall as well. That's 2 for nothing. I'm sorry, 2 for 1. Bristol did end up going down.
Nice power shot.
Puppy.
He's dead as well.
He has
not
one
getting
cool
out of
spray
this.
on him.
There's the
He
attack.
does a good job of drawing things away from Kuroki.
3 for
That's
1.
something you don't see. Well, you see at the very high levels, obviously, where support's gonna
Radiant's
die
bottom
and they just
tower is
draw
under
attention
attack.
away from everybody else trying to run away. So that's a good job by Puppy. But yeah, good retaliation for Fnatic. That's exactly what they needed.
And Puppy, he managed to get the last hit on the tower there, which was really good for Na'Vi because then they didn't really lose that much there. It was a 3 for 1 exchange, but when they got the tower after all, and considering the way that fight could have gone for them, I think it was okay. If Trixie would have waited 1 more second with TPing, they would have had 0 casualties there. Because then the disruption would have saved him from an additional 200 damage, and he would have stayed alive now. Era, he's in a hell of a lot of trouble here. He's actually going to try to TP out. Oh, then he missed! He missed the sleight of fist there.
Yes, indeed.
Actually cast it in a little bit of an unfortunate area because the chance that he basically cast it in an area that was mostly covered by trees, and Era just dodged a bullet there. He could have so easily died. What do you think about Flost? He's ganked mid once. He's got 80 CS at 12 minutes. He's got a real safe lane farm on a bounty. Do you feel like he should continue doing this? Is this a good investment, or is it about time that he gets out of that bottom lane, apart from that one gank in mid, and starts doing something? As mid, Hani does get the stun off. He is going to die, though. Puppy's going to pay for this.
Take demonic purge to the face, along with some cool sprays and goo to save another. No tail getting caught though from Fnatic. Fnatic is in a little bit of trouble. Timber Chain's not going to connect to anything, so it's a 2 for 2 in the end. And oh, Dendi to use his ultimate, I'm sure, to get away, and yes, he does just that. Just a little bit of harassment damage. The beauty of that hero, so annoying. Havost, as you talked about, was farming bot lane, but now perhaps starting to roam. But you're right, I'm not sure. I mean, the main draw from Bounty Hunter is his track and getting that gold lead, and really he does need to start getting... I mean, you don't really see a Bounty Hunter in a safe lane very often, so perhaps the strategy is a little bit different, but I still think, regardless of what lane he's in, track is your main draw on that hero.
I'm gonna expect Voss to start moving more now. He just gets his level 11, and now level 2 track is such a sick upgrade. This ability scales really well. It loses 3 seconds on the cooldown. It gives 50 more bonus gold to yourself and for all the allies, and the cast range gets increased by 150. So there's a big ability to have on level 2, 14 minutes in. And when you think about how Bounty Hunter usually affects games, you will almost never see a level 11 Bounty Hunter at 14 minutes. And it's just obviously because he's been playing in this position as now Fly was trying to defend. That's going to be easy money. 4 Na'Vi heroes there in that track health.
And this tier 1 tower looks to be dead, although Trixie and a TP to come will try to defend. No Tail, level 7, has the Demonic Purge as we talked about, used it already.
Good ward for Na'Vi here though. They see everything that's going on right now. No Tail is standing basically on top of it. Na'Vi can just choose what they want to do, and they choose, let's wrap around and kill the guy we see. Oh, No Tail.
Boy.
He's not in a good position. Kuro even has a blink dagger on the lion. I'm not sure you pointed that out, but
I did not. Wow.
Is very, very early. He's 4-0 and 3 on the support line and has definitely done the job here. He's going to blink up on the high ground and then get ice.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Vision, okay?
Looked like
Provision,
they,
extra vision.
weren't completely sure what they were doing there, but
Either way, yeah, you're right. That blink online is huge, and we're going to see that come into effect, I'm sure. Now, really, we're just waiting for the blink on Sand King to come to kind of counteract that to some degree. But he has it nonetheless, and just walking up into the Dire Ancients, little vision on this side at least. He's going to add vision. So that's going to add insult to injury a lot for Na'Vi. They have complete vision over that Ancient camp. So no stacking will come for Trixie on the Bristleback, who has been taking that into effect. Oh, smoke is used. Fnatic gonna run right into Kuroki. He has a blink, remember? He uses his ultimate and blinks immediately thereafter. Doesn't get a kill, but No Tail's gonna have to force gonna have to be forced back. Has the Tranquil Boots though. Tier 1 tower was killed.
It's gonna be okay.
Everybody should be fine. But Na'Vi gets the trade that they want, which is the tower.
Yeah, they're they get the trade they want, which is tower for nothing. Good trade.
Exactly.
So that's a 5k gold lead actually at this point for Na'Vi, which is more than I would have expected them to be gaining at this point considering the start of the game, but they've just turned it around very nicely. Experience favoring them by about 3.5 as well. And I feel like it's time for Fnatic to take a big team fight. They have the Blink Dagger on the Sand King. They have Eclipse level 2 available on the Luna. They get in, which they do. Double stun.
And that is one easy kill. Puppey is soul captured, which I'm going to use in that respect every single time. Soul caught? I don't know about that. Disruption's going to be used. Flies very low, but it's going to be a kill on Puppey. Can they catch Kavos? Doesn't look like they have the dust though, so he's slowed right now. Along with the goo, is this going to be enough to get the kill? Another goo to follow. One more Lucent Beam might be enough to get that mini stun off, but it just gets out of range. There's the Burrow Strike. The newly picked up Blink Dagger, as we kind of talked about. Here comes Dendi getting the kill on Windrunner. Era getting Ice Path immediately thanks to Puppey's wraparound gank. Era getting very low. The ultimate from Ember Spirit. Yes, it is going to be enough to chalk him. In addition to Trixie. Wow, this is going to be a complete cleanup for Na'Vi, but there's the ultimate epicenter combination from Hani. Funnick and Dendi versus the Hani. Will probably get this kill.
Oh, the Chakram isn't hitting him. He's actually staying alive through this.
But he's dead thanks to Kuroki. So complete team wipe, 2 for 5. So obviously in Na'Vi's favor.
I think if it wasn't for how many of those kills were track kills, because also I would have said Fnatic won that. But looking at the graphs, Na'Vi gained more gold, but they also rebought 2 heroes. They bought back. They bought back both Puppey and Vost, and they both died again.
True.
So those heroes actually died 4 times.
I didn't realize that.
And Lion died in the initiation as well, so it was 5 for 5 in total, double rebuy from Na'Vi, and even though the graphs are going to show that they gained more, at the same time they also bought back for quite a bit of that gold, so...
Oh, quick on the finger, but Puppey. Ice Path's going to connect just barely. Ember Spirit doing as much damage as he can. No kills will come of this, at least not yet. Very quick fingers from No-Tail though, that was a very fast disruption. And that pretty much prevented the kill.
For Fnatic, you just wish in that last fight that they got an Eclipse off. They actually didn't even use that. Hani just really saved that fight with a beautiful Epicenter Burrow Strike on 4 heroes there in the end. And to show, if Era gets a BKB, Na'Vi doesn't have anything at all to deal with that. They have no PKB counters in their lineup. Sure, they can track so that they can try to run away, but that's pretty much it. When he gets that BKB, I feel like Fnatic are going to hit a sweet spot in this game when they're just flat out stronger if they execute their team fight well. And especially if they get the initiation, that's kind of the most important thing. If they initiate with another hero than Sand King, Na'Vi have 2 choices. Either they sacrifice the hero, or they turn around knowingly that they're going to be fighting inside Epicenter. It's always something you really don't want to be forced to do. Oh, Fnatic! Get bursted!
Getting caught out. Is that your new catchphrase?
That was a Timber Saw with a cloak and a point booster. He just vanished.
Can you say that again? Can you say that again?
What did I say?
Get bursted.
Get bursted.
That is an awesome catch. I'm not even kidding. I'm not being sarcastic at all. That is an awesome catchphrase. Continue to use that. Even when there's no burst damage, use it, Cinderin. It's your new thing.
Fly just cleared out the creep wave. Get bursted.
That's awesome.
Alright, so I guess it would actually technically be get burst, wouldn't it? Or what's the past of that? You're the English dude.
Fine.
Or
that's
American.
Good enough.
It's close to English.
American language, you know. It's all good.
So say casted and stuff like that.
Yeah, well that one's incorrect, obviously, but...
Regardless...
considering it's your catchphrase, you can call it whatever you want. It can be broken English for all we care. Like, honestly.
It sounds as broken as it might be, but... What do you think right now? What's the state of the game? Dendi has got Arcane Boots on Ember Spirit. I've never seen this before. I think I've done that once myself, and it's really not a favorable pickup.
I was gonna mention that, and then a fight broke loose.
And, oh, Dendi. Hani's in a really good position here. Oh, he's in such a good position.
Oh my god, but no, he only gets Kuroki. Ends up being a 1-for-1, which eventually will come, and there it is. So, a little bit off timing for Hani, but gets the kill nonetheless.
He needs to be really careful here. Trixie's going for it.
Oh, he's good. Yeah, Hani's gonna stun Funnick. Funnick, he breaks up the trees, can only Timber Chain a short distance, will probably go down, and does so just as he gets a Chakram off. Funnick, or Dundee, I should say, picks up his double damage rune. Puppey's gonna continue to push bottom. Double Dundee. Yes.
He's gonna Well, this is a thriller compared to the previous games we've seen. I'm loving this puppy. He's now going to be in trouble, but Dendi is in position here. Oh, who's in trouble after all?
Oh my goodness. The burst damage coming from Dendi. I'm using some Cinderin-isms, if you will. Get bursted, son. It'll be a 1-for-1 overall, other than that engagement, obviously just one. Top lane, though. No tail. Gets the Soul Catcher on a creep, unfortunately.
Ross is in trouble here. They do have dust. Yeah, he's done for it. They use the Eclipse here, they will.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Very
attack.
expensive though, but probably worth it, as the Eclipse hasn't been really used to any great effect this game until then.
Navi are putting pressure at the same time. They see an opening in the map because there's 2 heroes top, so they do some really significant damage to this bottom tier 2. I don't think they'll get it, but they'll get it perhaps into deny range.
Dire's
And
bottom tower is
maybe
under
not.
attack.
Here comes Bristle.
Snared in fire.
Ice Path, and that's
Dire's
gonna
middle tower
spell
has
the
fallen.
escape for Navi. But tell me about this Arcane Boots pickup that you were alluding to.
You see
Dire's
Dendi has
bottom
picked it up
tower
on
has been denied.
Ember Spirit, and it's something we generally see Ember Spirits get the phase boost just because having the extra mobility and the higher damage and Sleight of Fist is really good, and because it's a very good early game item when Ember Spirit is very strong. But I feel like perhaps because he didn't get up to the ideal lane stage. Oh, they see Hani!
Great job from Navi as they're going to continue to fight. It looks like Fly taking a lot of damage, but Phoenix the one that has to be careful. He goes into his death, trying to get the kill, will not do so. Disruption
Dendi could be in trouble as
on
well.
Dendi. Kuroki's going to be mana draining.
Alright, never mind.
That Bristleback, but of course, Ember Spirit can get away anytime, anyway. Puppy's going to probably sacrifice his life for this. Uses the Macro Pyre to great effect, though. Dendi doing a lot of damage with Trixie. He's just stuck in the Macro Pyre. My goodness, he looks like he might go down.
Shackle!
Amazing Shackle, but No Tail does fall in the end. Dendi using his ultimate to get away. He will be good for now. Era popping his newly picked up BKB as the Impale is going to be used to perhaps finish off Trixie, and it does. Kuroki might have to trade his life for this, but it'll be worth it in the end. No, Dendi actually takes half the damage from that power shot and will save his brother in arms as good lord.
Such a beautiful fight from Navi. So
Goodness.
great about this fight is how much I always think it's very beautiful to watch these kind of fights where people are
Dire's
getting
middle
out and
tower is
reinitiating,
under
getting out and
attack.
reinitiating. I think Kuro was in that fight 3 times, and Dendi was in that fight 3 times. So they kept taking damage,
Dire's
they kept
courier
getting out,
has
and then
been
still get their spells off in the end. Just beautiful play, and Host is even gonna add insult to injury here, taking down the courier. As Hani, oh Kuro, you don't want to be there. That's way too aggressive. He could actually be in trouble here. Yep. Was an over-aggressive Navi play. We see those once in a while. And they
Well,
Kuroki, but that was absolutely incredible. And they had track on, I think, 4 kills there.
I was going to say this before he started picking this up, just because I thought it would be
top tower
hilarious
is
to
under
see.
attack.
Because I personally haven't seen it yet, but Lion, Kuroki, almost finished with an Aghanim's Scepter.
Oh boy, oh my god, we're 24 minutes and he has Blink Ags on the support.
The only real CC per se that they have, aside from his own, like I'm talking about big time AoE grouping them up, is an Ice Path. So it's not the greatest setup to have the AoE effect, but it's going to be awesome to see nonetheless.
Puppy's in trouble.
Taking a Burrow Strike to the face. But they're
Puppy's
using
dead.
Epicenter for that. I'm kind of questioning that.
I think it's fine. The way it is right now, Fnatic, it's a long cooldown, but they know Lion is dead, so he couldn't be there to help out, and there's still need to buy space right now. Era got the BKB, which was the first big step, and they just need to keep killing heroes whenever they can. Vost, wow, really out of position here. Easy kill for Fnatic. And even more now, Funnick is in here. Navi are just throwing corpses at them.
That's another great catchphrase, by the way. Funnick
Seriously.
will go down in the end. Not able to get a kill to his name. And Navi trying to get some trades here, but aren't going to be able to do any damage to this tower because the...
It was really over-aggressive, and they lost 3 heroes, and what do you think? I mean, I've seen some interesting item builds in my time, but I don't think I've ever seen a bounty hunter with Vlad Skadi. That's a new one for me.
Awesome.
I think it's cool because he's obviously gets very tanky, and Skadi is always good, I guess you could say, because the all stats 25 is amazing, but as far as the slow goes, sure how much it's going to pay off, and I think against this Fnatic lineup you really want to have BKBs. I mean, just look at them. Eclipse, Soul Catcher, Sand King Ultimate, which is called Epicenter. There's so many things that I feel like would really justify getting a BKB here. Now Puppy again, trying a little bit too aggressively to push out these lanes, I feel, and they're going to take another casualty here.
Get the Ice
Does
Path.
end up setting up something here. Dendi's on the way.
Dendi and Kuroki. Kuroki's going to impale, but we're going to be watching Era versus Dendi. He's going to pop his BKB trying to do as much damage as possible. N0tail's going to disrupt himself, trying to avoid as much damage as possible. Fnatic goes down though, and KuroKy, oh my goodness, he uses his ultimate, gets a kill on N0tail though, so you don't really see the AoE damage coming into effect. Hani, his ultimate's up in 5, is obviously pretty low. Na'Vi has backed up because most of them are dead. But you're right, I mean, a lot of these fights are starting with like horrible positioning by one player and then people just funnel in.
Fnatic are really fighting back in this. I love that they're not sitting back waiting for something to happen, but that they're really trying to take the... They're trying to be the aggressors here. If they see one from Na'Vi out of position, they don't immediately assume it's a bait, they go for it. They try to get it, they get the kill on Puppey here, and that has probably just translated into a Roshan kill as well. Puppey's trying to push out the mid lane, no one is in the Rosh pit, Fnatic has the superior vision here. Oh, they're gonna have to be quick though, Puppey is getting in with the Ice Path here.
Fire to follow. Roshan's gonna go down one way or another. Here comes Dendy. Dust is popped. Trixie taking so much damage. Era did pick up the Aegis as he goes down immediately. Fly gonna get surrounded by Dendy and Khobos. The damage is way too much to follow. Era does not have his ultimate. He's gonna pop his BKB for naught. Will go down immediately. There's the epicenter burrow strike on 3 heroes. 2 gonna die almost immediately. No, Dendy will live thanks to his ultimate. N0tail's gonna use Eruption to stay alive as Khobos will watch from the back wings. And Hani has a burrow strike. Is he going to be able to get out for now? He is. KuroKy blink up at 4 seconds. Oh my goodness! He gets fingered from across the cliff!
What was that
Dirty.
range?
I don't know.
What?
To go up with Aghanims?
No. Yes, it goes to 2,500, I guess. It just doesn't say on the spell. That was really long casting. Wow, that was... I was worried for Fnatic that exactly that was going to happen. They were going to get the Rosh, but they would commit so much to it and be really out of position, and Na'Vi would capitalize on it. And I have to say, Dendy, considering the start he had in this game, he's been playing very, very well. He's only died twice, and I think one of the times was in the lane. He always has a perfect remnant ready, uses it with great timing, and he just does a lot of damage during the fight. He gets many sleights of fist off without exposing himself too much, so I really feel like yeah, he's been in 23 out of 29 kills. He has the highest kill attendance for Na'Vi by far, whereas Khobos has 6 kills he's been part of, so that's really
Picking up
very
Khobos,
different.
they're going to put down a sentry, but it's just out of range now. They're going to continue to use it. N0tail taking some damage from Chogman's going to have to use Disruption on himself again. We've been seeing that time and time again, using it defensively. Fnatic, is he going to be able to Timber Chain away? For now, he is. The power shot, not enough, but the Burrow Strike should be, and it is. Top lane
is under attack.
Pushing
in. I don't think Puppey and Kuro can do this. Or maybe they can. Trixie's actually pretty... He's not full on health.
He's alone. KuroKy, oh my, holy Jesus, that ultimate.
He could.
Oh my god.
So, this is one thing I was thinking about earlier that I didn't get to mention. Is the Hex from Lion removes Bristleback.
Bristleback.
So he does a full damage Finger of Death when the Bristleback is hexed. And that full damage right now is 850. So, oh sorry, 1025 since he has Scepter. 1025. So
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
When you think you're tanky on Bristleback, you need to consider if you get hexed and fingered by Lion, that's about 800 damage instantly. And that's pretty scary because it kind of removes the confidence you can usually play with as Bristleback. It's just negated by this Lion pick right now, and the farm in particular that KuroKy has. So he's been playing a really beautiful Lion this game.
Okay, trying to use his ultimate. Will take basically full damage from Dendy.
Just playing with them here.
I mean, that's the beauty of the hero. He's so mobile and yet does so much damage at the same time. It's not really the normal combination that you see, as S and Y is now picked by Khobos. I mean, he's just picking up random items at this point. Let's not kid ourselves. 4-step on Jakiro. Daedalus is finished on Dendy. And Bloodstone, kind of a late Bloodstone, or really late Bloodstone Fnatic, but...
Wow, that's really late.
Presence hasn't really been felt, so anything added to that will help, I suppose, but really it's all about Dendy and KuroKy for the most part.
Yeah, I feel like those are definitely the biggest players right now for Na'Vi. KuroKy's gonna farm the wave with Finger of Death. Just kill 3 melee creeps with a Finger of Death. It's a 20-second cooldown. He just needs to drain the mana back up, so he's getting a little bit of extra farm. We'll be draining this. I mean,
why is this hero not played? He's so good. He's so good with farm and levels.
Seriously, Dendy is just being annoying. He is really being annoying. I think Fnatic need a Hex. They either need a Hex or they need Hani to be in the right place at the right time. He needs to predict Dendy's movement and be there for the instant stun so they can get that kill. That's the one problem they have right now. I don't think they have the means of killing Dendi without a stun plus Eclipse. The damage just isn't there right now, and that means Dendi can play with this incredible amount of confidence. He's playing split push Morphling / split push Weaver kind of style right here.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Constantly pressuring them, constantly getting away, but he needs more than one hero to go on him. They can't kill him with just one. Now Notel's gonna try it again. Bye bye.
I mean, it's just rinse and repeat. I mean, I'm talking about this hero just being so mobile, but like unlike Morphling or all those other heroes, he doesn't need that much farm to do a lot of damage, you know? And his escapability is just off the charts. And we're just seeing here with Timbersaw, like, often do you see a Timbersaw not really having an effect on the game, and their team is, for all intents and purposes, dominating, and a lot of that is because of Dendi. So this, I believe, we saw this in the previous series where he was banned after the first game from Fnatic when Trixie dominated.
I think we could see that.
Yeah, if he's in the pool next time, he will definitely be banned. And I was a little bit surprised that he wasn't banned to begin with. They're gonna try to initiate. Shackle will not hit, and he's gone again.
And then, yeah, I think
having a replicate at all times.
It really is. And well, as far as this game is going right now, Na'Vi are ahead by 15,000 gold and 10,000 experience as far as on the gold gain in this game. But I don't feel like the game. It doesn't seem that one-sided, to be honest. It's now Kuroki again trying to farm up top here. Will they get that? Yeah, they will.
Oh, Lucent Beam at the last moment. Finishes him off, but that just shows how much they need to kill him.
Yeah.
4 players, basically. I mean, a full epicenter.
I think if Fnatic manage to stall this, especially if Na'Vi keep getting picked off like this. Now again, this time it's Vost being a little bit too far out, and they're actually committing on this. Fnatic, they get this kill as well. Which they will. I don't think Vost,
Vost is very tanky, but no BKB means he's gonna get stunned over and over.
Sandstorm there by Hani, avoiding the Sleight of Fist. Fnatic, they even Trixie killing. Wow, they're getting caught off everywhere right now. That's 3 kills again. But the funny thing is, Na'Vi are really they're dying all across the map from their aggression. But if you look at the graphs and how it works out for them, the times they get caught out don't even negate the amount of farm they get on Fnatic by just playing aggressively. This is a very classic Na'Vi game where they take control of the map and they just farm so aggressively that they're trying to intimidate their opponents off the map. And if the opponents bite the bait, they've already lost the game, because then Na'Vi just farms everywhere. So they need to take these chances and hope that Na'Vi are not stacked up the way they could be. And so far it's working for Fnatic. They get these pickoffs that keep them in the game, but I mean, if you look at the graphs, it's still...
The issue though, they can't kill Dendi without a sheep stick. And
that's
is anybody working on it? Doesn't look like it. Nope.
That's a good question. Bristleback is getting a heart or a Satanic, and Sand King could be a potential Hex carrier. Windranger is far off it, so... Fnatic, you just see this. They're going with 4 heroes together because they don't want to walk alone against an Ags, Lion, and an Ember Spirit. So that means as long as Na'Vi are split pushing and farming all 3 lanes, they're effectively getting a lot more gold per minute. As now Havost again will be initiated on here. This time I'm not sure it's going to go as well for Fnatic. If there's a turnaround, never mind. But here we go, Dendi. Oh, that opener.
Oh, double chakra, but Era pops the BKB, pops Eclipse as well. Dendi taking a lot of damage, but again, he's gone back to mid lane, so he's fine. But ends up being a 1-for-1. It takes a lot to kill Bounty, but obviously it's worth it if it's just a support. But will Fnatic go away with just that one trade? I don't believe so. Era doesn't have his BKB. He's going to have to do a 1v1 fight with Funnick. In the meantime, a nice ice path, but it's going to cause Lion to die, apparently. Kuroki falls in the end. BKB, Hani, he just picked that up, apparently, so not going for the sheep stick. Will probably fall in the end. Funnick, oh, he blinks! Blinks away to safety, and in the meantime, Lion buys back. Kuroki with the ultimate to the face of Luna. Trixie getting impaled. Dendi is here, back from his mid-excapations. That's not a word, but Trixie nonetheless. Oh my god.
That was close.
Okay.
We have a
I was gonna say.
Well, this is...
Bought back. Let's see. So we had Lion buyback, and that's it. I thought more than that bought back, but
I don't understand why these graphs are not going a little more in Fnatic's favor. I feel like they're getting a lot of kills, but the goal is just not changing at all. I do understand that they're getting quite out-farmed, and I think a big part of the story is just Fnatic supports being under-farmed, to be honest. Na'Vi have 82 CS on Puppey and 65 on Kuro, whereas Fly has 27 and Notel has 14. So even though the cores are Cores are also behind. I guess you could say Luna is on par with both the Bounty and the Ember Spirit, and Bristle is behind by about 50. But there's a big discrepancy in the support farm. I feel like that's where Na'Vi are mainly leading right now. Puppey has a 4-staff and an urn. Kuro has Blink, Axe, and Ghost Scepter. Fly has Arcane Boots only. And No-Tail has Medallion only. So that's where the big difference is. And that also means that with this kind of gold distribution, if Fnatic get off a good fight where they kill the supports first of all things, I think like the Lion is the biggest value kill right now. Kill the Lion and control Dendi. You're probably not going to be able to kill him anyway, let's be honest. Control him and get the supports down, and then suddenly the cores you're fighting up against aren't that scary. We talked about Timbersaw not really doing that much, and if Fnatic get that kind of an opener, maybe they can overcome the fact that they're 15,000 gold behind because of the way that gold is distributed. We've got to say as well, the gold graph is gold earned. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. It's gold earned, right? So it's one thing I've been wanting for a very long time that we still don't have. Maybe I should pressure a bit for it. Is that I would like a graph that shows gold earned minus gold used on rebuys. Because Na'Vi are not 15,000 gold ahead then. If it's the gold earned and they've rebought for 10k gold, then they're 5k gold ahead right now.
Right.
And since the graphs don't take that into account, it's a little bit tricky. So I would definitely say...
You're talking about like net gold, essentially.
Exactly. Net gold graph, which...
has fallen to the Radiant.
I don't think it is.
Ooh.
So Na'Vi are not this far ahead. The graphs are really deceiving us right
What do you
now.
think about Chavos? I was... Okay, so Kuroki using his ultimate again to farm, but you're right, the cooldown is so low, it doesn't really matter. What do you think about Chavos picking up the Aegis? He's the one getting picked off, but it's not like he's doing that much damage. I mean, his track is very valuable, and we kind of saw in the last fight how Fnatic it was a pretty even fight overall, just because they forced Dendi out. You're right, they don't necessarily have to kill him if they can force him back to mid lane, as we saw in the last fight, but he's not the one to take the Aegis here.
I think Dendi is playing this very smart, so might not even need the Aegis. And with it on boss, they can go very aggressively. He can start sieging the tower, which is exactly what's going to happen now, because he's the tankiest hero on Navi's side. He's actually more tanky than the Timbersaw, I think. So Fnatic are going to feel like they have to go on him, but at the same time, they really don't want to. Gonna put some
trying to draw as much damage because he has the Aegis. Doesn't really care if he dies, as long as they use some valuable spells on them, but they haven't really done that other than the Demonic Purge.
Which,
Dendi
40 seconds?
Has so much damage. Going for a Data Lie setup, as you like to call it. Another Cinderin-ism. The TP back top, so it's trying to save top lane is funny. That's going to break up this engagement. Dendi just being annoying again.
Dendi is still... He almost killed Fly. So I love this pickup from Dendi, and the main reason I love this is that I see... This is pretty much my favorite build. So this is why I like to see Dendi doing this. It makes me feel better about myself. So almost everyone on Ember Spirit gets Battle Fury. And it's all good for clearing out waves and farming faster. And in fights, if people stack up, you obviously do amazing damage. But let's be honest, at this level of play, it's going to be way harder to get to use the Battle Fury effect that well. Whereas having heavy single target damage is a lot easier because the area of Sleight of Fist is huge on level 4. So you're going to apply your damage to all of them. So what's he going to do? He gets a Deso for the minus armor on all the targets, and then he gets 2 Dead Ally. Because increases his crit chance. This is the exact build I would get, apart from the fact that he has Arcane Boots where I would usually buy Phase. So I really love the choice from Dendi here, and you're going to see, if he gets to cast a few Sleight of Fists in the next fight, you're going to win. They're just going to win the fight because he will crit. I don't know the exact math, but since each Daedalus has a 25% crit chance, I guess your total crit chance with 2 of them is about 40. Because you can't get...
Diminishing returns, but sure.
Exactly, so the diminish removes about 10% because they can't crit on the same hit. So the ones where they both crit, only 1 crits, and that's perhaps about the 10% chance. So I think 40% crit chance on Dendi is reasonable to expect here, and the second Daedalus is not coming out. He only has Chrysalis for now. This BKB instead. Coming out for Voss.
Using his ultimate to get out again. Demonic Purge was not used. It was actually a Shadow Poison. I want to theory craft so bad right now about Ember Spirit, but unfortunately, alright, depending on your perspective, fortunately, since you guys don't have to hear that god-awful speech, this bottom lane will be pressured by Na'Vi and Fnatic to defend with all their heart, but really, oh my good lord.
My God.
So just 1 dead with, see, no risk, absolutely no risk from Dendi's part, as Trixie can take some damage from Chakram. The pure damage is such a great counter to Trixie, as there goes Era with his BKB, but the damage is already done. The Rax is about to fall, and Era, despite having the BKB, will die as well. Hani, very late to the party, pops his BKB, trying to go for Kuroki, can't even get that. 4 for nothing. This is going to be racked, if not GG.
I think this is it.
Before we get into it, I need to talk about it. I'm sorry. So, I understand the whole Stygian Deso pickup on pretty much every, as we see GG, on Ember Spirits, but we were testing this and I wasn't sure about it until I tested it after our cast last time. What do you like? What would you say that it's more beneficial to have that debuff on heroes, or go for something like an MKB so that you could go lifesteal, because lifesteal completely works, including Satanic, which I find insane. I mean, obviously it's more of an early game item for Deso, but I guess you're not getting really low in Dendy's case this game, but lifesteal just seems like it would be such an amazing item on an Ember Spirit.
I think the lifesteal build makes sense, but I think the way I would do it is that I would get the build Dendy has right now, and then if you get into the late game, then perhaps sell the Deso for lifesteal. Because then the Deso falls off a bit, I guess you could say, in comparison to having a more expensive item in the slot, and then you keep the Daedalus, and then you have some lifesteal with it, and then you just completely heal yourself up to full when you use one Sleight of Fist, which is kind of crazy.
If you buy 2 or more Daedalus, or Daedaluses, they should rename the items Daedalus. Like, it should literally just change.
And if you have 2 boots of speed, it should be booty of speed, or what? I don't know. I had no point on that. Okay. So, Navi.
Good
Lord. Fucking terrible.
I didn't want to say anything,
Navi,
but you know.
Navi take game 1. This was a great game. Really happy we got to see this type of game, because let's be honest, the last few casts we've haven't had. I feel like this is the best game we've had in the last. It's better than any game last week, in my opinion. And I just hope we carry this on into game 2. And I'm with you. If Ember Spirit's in the pool, Fnatic are gonna ban it. I feel like if not for that Ember Spirit, if that was another hero that they could have contained better, I feel like Fnatic's lineup would have worked so much better. But Dendy just played incredibly in this game. Just the fact that Host had a kill attendance of 9 out of 38 and they still win at 40 minutes. He was the easy lane. He was position 1. And did very little compared to the other heroes in this game. So that just goes to show how much space Na'Vi could create with their other heroes. Amazing play from them. Really good game from Fnatic too. I think they had some very great moves as well. But Na'Vi will, with a very methodical push in the end, take game 1. And 2 should be coming up in, about 10 minutes, I believe.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too long. But I want to mention one thing that we talked about pre-game. Fnatic kind of playing safe here, and that ends up being their downfall. We talked, like, when they branch out, at least in our tournament, they've been very successful, and then when they go for the Luna, very safe. I mean, this is a captain's mode draft, what they've drafted for the most part, and it just didn't work out in their favor. But either way, game 2 coming up next, guys. We'll be right back.